Hey there, let's get started using KiCAD. Okay, starting KiCAD here. There's the main window. Go New, Project, tell it where I'd like it to be, plug in a name, call it Circuit, click Save, click Yes, create a new directory, start the schematic capture module, click there, click Yes to create a new schematic. There, blank schematic. Now I'm going to create a new library symbol, schematic symbol, so I'm going to go to the library editor. There we go. Now I'll bring up the data sheet for the part I want to make a symbol for. So let me scroll this down. I'm going to go down to the pinout here for my 20-pin TSSOP package. There we go. So back here I'm going to go create a new component. Click that. Name my component. Oops. Okay, there we go. Now let me zoom in here. There we go. I'm using the scrolly wheel on the mouse. Click on that. Place a new pin. Name the pin. I'm going to start here from number 1 and just go all the way through to 20. Name the pin. Tab down. Give the pin a number. Then drop that over here. Okay. Well, I've got that tool active. I can just click again and it will bring back up this dialog. So I can just run through and quickly create all the pins that I need for the symbol. Click again, name the pin, tab down, number the pin, click OK. Bam, drop it. And I'm going to fast forward here a little bit so you don't have to watch me do all these. There we go. Almost done. Okay, pin 19. And finally, pin 20. Bam. Okay, I need a border around this symbol. So I'm going to go over here to the right, click that, click here, and drag across. Nice. I'm going to move these things out of the way. I'm using the M key. I'm using a lot of keyboard shortcuts here just because it's a big time saver. Almost done. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to insert this into my library. Let's see, where do I go? I go over here. Yep. Save into a new library. I'm going to accept that default name. And that's fine. Click Save. I can ignore that for now. And then I'm done here. I can get out of here. We've got a new library with one component in it. Back here to the schematic capture module. And component libraries. I got to do that. Click Add. And I'm going to go add the new library that it just created. So there it is. Click that. Then done here. Click OK. Now on the right, I can click Place Component. Click, and then I can just type in a search. There I go. There's my new component. And drop it in. There I go. Okay. Now I think there. I'm going to need to add some other things here because I wanted to make a whole circuit here, not just a microcontroller. Okay. And again, I'm just typing in searches here to quickly find the parts that I want. These are all the components from KiCAD standard library, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. So give it a shot. Check out what they got in there. I'm going to add a couple more things from here, and then I'll probably skip ahead just so you guys don't have to see me spend time creating these modules here. But while I'm doing this, I wanted to point out I'm using a lot of the keyboard shortcuts. There is a keyboard shortcut editor. A lot of the features are already bound to keys by default, and it's probably a good idea to get familiar with them. M moves components, R rotates, and there are a bunch of other good things here to make the work a lot quicker. So you're not seeing me bring up a lot of the context menus. I'm using keyboard shortcuts. There we go. I clicked on the right, dropped in a piece of text, and I just pasted in a little bit of notes, so I actually know what I'm going to have to add here. Right there, that's a place global label. I'm going to use that so that I don't have to run a bunch of traces or tracks, because I like to have a kind of a neat looking schematic and not run a bunch of wires everywhere. So I named that and click there, drop it in, click again, give this one a new name, and I'm going to run through and create labels for all these the signals on the microcontroller that I want. Okay, there we go. added them all. When I do a box select like that, I can move around all the selected items at one time, so that's kind of handy. There's some other things. Once you have something selected, you can mirror, flip-flop, rotate all those items as a group. It's handy. Check it out. Okay. Now I'm going to take all these global labels and start dropping them onto my part. Later on, I'm going to make some duplicates of these labels so that the signals are connected to where they need to go. Okay, almost done here. Okay, get rid of that. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Click that. That's a no connect. Just because I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna need those pins. The rest I'm not sure about. Now I want to add power, so that's place power port. Do a search here. There's my 3 volts. Drop that in. I'm gonna want another one for ground. Drop that in, and I'll move these into place and just route these ones manually. I'm using the W key here to run a track. And I forget if I have that mapped to a key shortcut that I made, but if you don't have it mapped, over on the right you'll see that there's the green wire. That's the icon to be able to run a track. There. So click, click, done. Whew, look at that. Okay, I skipped forward ahead, but I'm done with my schematic. Okay, now I want to annotate it, so go up to the top here and click this button, annotate. I'm going to keep the defaults and just click annotate. Yeah, okay. And there we go. All my symbols are annotated. I've got R1, R2, etc., etc. Okay, generate netlist. Defaults are fine. Click generate. The default name is fine. Click save. Now I've got a netlist. I'm going to need that later. Then click there, CVPCB, and that's going to help me link my schematic symbols to footprints. Turn on the preview. There we go. Now I'm going to run down this list and pick a footprint for each one of the symbols that I've got in my schematic. Let's see here, capacitor. There's some tools at the top to be able to filter this list, and that comes in handy. Otherwise, you get a nice massive list depending on which libraries you've got installed. But I'm going to go down and pick one of the footprints here for my capacitor. And now I'm just clicking and it automatically advances that list here. Okay, I skipped forward a bit. Here we go, getting ahead of myself. Almost done. There we go, there's the last part. TSSLP 20. Double click that. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done here. I'm going to save this out. Click there. And then I can close this. I have my component file. Okay, now I'm going to detour here and show you what plotting looks like. So click File, Plot, set PDF, and I like mine in black and white there. I'm going to plot just this page. Cool, close that. And let me load this up here. I think the PDF plots from KiCAD look really awesome. I don't know why, I just think they look really great. So I'm going to load this up here and show you what that looks like. Ooh, nice. Anyway, that feature is there. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, close this. Back to my schematic. Save this, file, and we're done. Okay, now let's go into the PC board layout tool. Yes, create that. Here we go. Blank PC board layout. Now, I'm going to pull in my netlist, so click there, read netlist, read current netlist, and then, cool. That worked. Close. And here we go. Here are all our footprints dropped into a nice big heap for us. So let's move them out of the way. Oops. Move, move, move. I'm using the M key and getting these out of the way. There you go. Oh, look at that. I'm so fast. Okay. So now that I've moved these all into about the space where I want them to be, I'm going to turn off render. Nope. Values. Turn that off. I don't need those now. Those don't show up on the silk screen, so click that. Go back to layer. Eco1 user. So I'm using the line tool here. I'm going to draw myself some construction lines for the board outline. This one's pretty straightforward. Just click, drag across, click there, and I'm going to go around the perimeter of my board and draw the outline. I'm not using the edge cuts layer yet because I want to do some rounded corners. So I'm just using this eco1.user layer as just kind of a temporary layer. Okay. Nice. Okay, now let's switch over and use the edge cuts layer, which is there. And go draw some more lines. I'm going to pull them out from the corner a little bit because I'm going to do rounded corners. And for that, I'll use the arc tool. There we go. Click arc. Start from the center and drag out. Nice. Go over here. Click in the center. Drag out. Click again. Nice. Okay, there we go. Done. Delete these construction lines because I do not need them anymore. Cool. All right. Now, looks good. Maybe, okay, now I've got some silk screen not where I want it to be. So let me move those out of the way. Okay, that's me right-clicking, changing the grid settings just so I can get a little bit more control over the placement of those items. Finish this thing up here. I think I'll. Nope. Okay, put it there. Yeah, okay, all done. Now, I want to show you this because it's awesome. 3D viewer. Look at that. Okay. Now, I did not make these 3D models. Some other hardworking people did. I think it's awesome, so I wanted to show that to you guys. Obviously, you don't need that to finish a design, but it's a cool feature. So, check that out. Cool. Okay, close that. Alright. Now, I want to add some... Click there. Add filled zones. Because I want to add a power and a ground plane. It complained about the zone being off, the display being off, so I click there to turn the display back on. And I'm going to draw the zone outline, starting at any particular place. Click the layer, click the net I want to use for my, my zone, and whatever other options you want to pick. Okay. And that starts off my zone, so I'm going to start clicking around the perimeter of the zone, and click. Click. All the way around. So I picked the top layer, so you can see it showing up in the default color for the top layer, top copper layer that is. All the way around, and on the last point, instead of left clicking, on a right click, and close zone outline. Nice. Okay, I'm done. I can see that the edge is cross-hatched there. Right click it, and I'm gonna duplicate that zone onto another layer, which is gonna be the bottom copper layer. I'm gonna select the ground net. Click OK. Bam. Okay, now I got both my zones, one on the top, one on the bottom. I want to fill those, so I'm going to click that again. Right click inside the zone, fill or refill all zones. Nice. Okay, so I've just filled my zones. I'm going to go back to the 3D viewer, sorry, and check that out. So the filling respects the pads there, so I've got a nice little relief around all the pads, the thermal relief. Check that out. Okay, turn that off. It's kind of annoying if I'm not actually trying to work on the zones. Okay, let's add some tracks. Go over here on the right, add track, and pick my top copper layer, and click, click, and click, click, and then right click, and track. Do it again. And that one. Okay, now, usually when I add tracks like this, I'm going to go and use the keyboard shortcuts that I have defined, just because it's a whole lot quicker than using the context menus. I definitely recommend going through, setting up your hotkeys, or at least knowing which ones the defaults use, because it's a big time saver. So I'm going to finish up these tracks here and definitely skip forward so you guys don't have to watch it all. But I want to show you guys how to change the track width. For that, we're going to go up here to Design Rules. Design Rules. This is a list of all the nets that we've got in the schematic and all the net classes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign one of these nets to a new net class. I kind of forget how to use this. Okay, bear with me. What do I want? I want to go here, add. Okay, add a new net class. There we go. Change some of the defaults. I'm just going to change the track width here to... Sure. Whatever. Okay. And then on the right here, I'm going to pick my new net class. There, power. On the left, I want to pick my net. Click those right arrows. And then I'll take that net or any other selected ones into that net class. Make another one. Call it, sure, 5 volts. Okay, that. Move this net over to this net class. Bam. Change this a little bit. Make it bigger. Okay. Okay, done with that. Right click on any track. Edit tracks and vias. Set all tracks to their net class values. Click OK. Yes. There we go. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but the track widened up a little bit. You can see it in relation to the other one. Cool. Hey, okay. There we go. Now I'm all done laying down my tracks. Nice. Let's check it out in the 3D viewer. Gratuitously. Yay, look at that. Awesome. Looks neat. Okay, I think we're pretty much done here. We got all our tracks. We got our ground fills. We got all our components. I want to add a couple things to the silk screen to finish up the design. So let's see, add some text. Click that. Get onto my silk screen layer somewhere. Front silk screen. And I don't know. There we go. Just something so you can see how that works. Do that. Plug in some different values for my height and my width and my thickness. Click OK. And drop that in. Okay, it looks good. I'm going to add a logo here down at the bottom. So click over here, add component. Click here, and I'm going to use the browser. Drop this down to symbols. And I'm just going to pick something from the standard library. That open source hardware logo looks good. Click that. Bam. Okay, design rule check. Go up here, DRC. And I'm going to run my design rule check. Click there, start DRC. And if nothing shows up in either of these windows here, they're tabbed, then we're good. Click OK. Now I'm ready to make some Gerber files. So File, Plot, and I'm going to make sure that I have all the layers selected I want to make Gerber files for. So I want my edge cuts, and I want my mask, my front and back mask too. Make sure that the format up at the top is correct. I want Gerber. That's cool. That's pretty much it. I'm going to use the defaults here, so click OK, or plot, sorry. And I also want a drill file, so I click there, generate drill file, select the format, Gerber also. And that's good here. Click there, generate the drill file, close that. And let's go check out this Gerber file. So I'm going to use Groovy, and this is a different tool. It's not part of KiCAD's package, but I think it's a cool tool, and I like to use it in favor of GerbView. So I'm going to go load up the files that I just created. There, multi-select. And when I've got them all, click Open. And there we go. I'm going to change the rendering here to high quality, and then we'll get some transparency. And we're pretty much done here. If these look good, you're ready to send them out to a fab. And here you can do that and reorganize the layers and just kind of set the stack up the way that be physically, and just kind of play around and see what they look like. You can change colors and do nice PNG exports from here and just make sure that the artwork is how you want it to be. But I think that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and good luck using KiCAD. If you have any comments, please leave them on the video. Thanks.